Copy, copy.
You're in the A-frame there.
I can see myself now. Thank you for the assist. Oh, look. It's gone full circle. Copy.
Copy.
It's the most entertaining launch I've had in a while.
Now we have our sea lion cam ready. We'll see if they come.
This is a 5.5, right?
Some dive.
That really wants you to see the water.
Where are the dolphins? That's what I want to know.
In the water.
That was a dolphin hunt, in case anyone's wondering. We were looking around for the dolphins and the whales there. They definitely were not under the deck chair.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they hang out on the social deck?
Mod rate 9,600. So we might go down a little slow because we're a bit light, so we can lift the lander if we need to.
Oh, that's impressive. How did they weight the lander?
What's that?
What did you try and trim the lander out to? How many
Oh,
pounds?
in theory,
Uh-huh.
you're talking to someone that failed math horribly.
That's definitely not true.
Yeah.
It might be somewhere between 100 and 135 pounds in water.
Okay.
That's what our top scientists say. Oh, look at that power sensor censoring. What are those? I know it's
Squirrels.
Lance lights that
They're micro Einsteins.
micro Einsteins.
Yeah.
So one is like a happy plant.
We didn't actually get there. We didn't know what like a bright sunny day in Einsteins or micro Einsteins as a unit.
It
Didn't
looked
have to
up
deal
here,
with
it was
this
like
for,
0.7, and then down there it's like 0.0 something. So I guess really small.
It's also, yeah,
Argus in the water.
it's wavelength agnostic, so it's not actually a measure of the amount of light energy.
It's just the
it's
photons,
the amount of
right?
photons, yeah.
Roger.
Herc's going down.
You got
Herc's
that
going down.
DC fault on Argus.
Roger, thank you, Captain.
Turn off HD.
Huh? Ah, yeah,
All right, turning off
we're over it.
HD cam on Argus.
We could just leave it on and let it cook. Maybe we'd find the ground fault because I can't find it. I've looked all over that thing.
I'm rolling with dash unless you think it's working.
No, it's working. It just has a hard ground fault.
All right.
We've
There's an
checked.
audio slate for dive Hotel 1855. UTC time is 155118. Mark.
So I'm leaving the lights off on purpose to watch a squiggly line on the par sensor.
Ooh.
If anyone's
green.
interested, I'm watching it on Grafana.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that went way down. And it's continuing to drop.
Yeah, hi everybody. Good morning if you're tuned in on Alice Live. Good morning if it's your morning. It is just after breakfast here. We're headed down to a depth of 575 meters. This is going to be a little bit of a different dive in that we're headed to the seafloor to inspect the Abyss lander, which we just launched off the back deck. If you've been following along, it's the silver frame with the orange top that you've seen for the last few days, and we'll see it again soon, shortly. Check about the landing spot, see how it's set up there. The plan is for that lander to stay in place until September, so we'll want to make sure it's in the right location for the science team to get the data that they're looking for, and then we will continue along the seafloor collecting a few more push cores. We're back in the deep site, so we're back more in the center of the basin, where we expect to find those low oxygen conditions, which are ideal for some of our target species of foraminifera. If you have questions for the team, send them in during the descent's a great time to chat about those.
Can you tweak that thing? You know the good settings? If you don't, I have a picture of them.
This is in the way.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you? I'm good.
Copy.
Ready?
Ready for control. Roger,
Roger
thank
that.
you, Deck.
Set that.
Roger, thank
to
you,
those.
Captain.
Yeah, they're pyrosomes are the things floating by.
Yeah.
And they can be anywhere between kind of like finger size and paint roller size. They're colonial tunicates, and they bloom. You know. So.
And are increasing along
Yes.
this coast.
Yeah, definitely. Pyrosomes.
What's the depth here, Aaron?
What was that?
What's the depth here?
575.
575, roger.
You still watching the PAR, or are we good?
I got
Yeah,
it.
still watching the power.
All right,
Assuming
Flat line
manual
up to
control.
0.
30 dB of gain.
Okay,
You're gonna want to warn me before you turn
the
lights
power is
on.
pretty much at 0 now. Interesting, I would have thought it would read something, because I can still see.
Well,
What
It's
speed do we
reading
want
some
to maintain?
micro Einstein.
Fine.
My vertical
micro
velocity is
Einstein?
27. Just match the.
catch it 36 dB of gain now.
Oh, I thought you said we were going to go down slow.
I'm pegged, so whatever you're
Hey.
gonna do,
Hey,
do it
Dan,
like you do it. Yes, sir.
don't turn any lights on yet.
Roger.
I think we're supposed to do some low light operations during this dive.
That's pretty low light.
And I think this gain and everything might help us with that. Like if we just use the rear light on Herc and
There is a little bit of light on right now. There's the
yeah, but let me
bucket
take
cam?
my
Oh,
my
no.
gain out and show you what it looks like normal.
Roger.
So that's 0 dB of gain. So we might be able to use that
So
later
we
on.
have see bucket cam there. He's got a little LED ring on him. So there is some ambient light, and that's kind of facing towards the Zeus a bit.
Yeah, so we might be able, instead of having to turn all the lights on when we're working in the box, we might be able to do something like that later on.
Yeah.
Hold on, did you read the dive plan?
You're
Of
really
course.
quiet, but yes, I can. That's a lot better.
The depth is 575.
All right, you can hit me with lights now.
Roger. Going
Thank you.
for aft lights. Can you turn your aft light on there? Or I'll do it for you. I see you're busy.
If you'd like to learn a little more about the Abyss Lander, you can check out the expedition page on the website, and the expedition blog is posted there. Some new content up online this morning.
You got lights on?
Also, question about the pyrosomes. Leela, what do you have for pyrosome facts for us?
Ooh, I don't know that I have a ton other than the fact that as conditions, oceanographic conditions are changing off the west coast and food webs are shifting,
I
there
gotta come
are more
faster.
and more pyrosomes, or we're seeing more and
Or
more pyrosomes.
you want me to slow down?
I just need to
And
catch
yeah,
up.
that has
Yeah, don't go over
implications for
35.
food web.
If you gotta hit 35, I'll slow down.
Colonial tunicates, so they're connected by tissue
You can peg it
together,
at 35. That's your
but
max.
specialized
Copy.
by organs. They're filter feeders. They're collecting marine snow. We see here, and you can, if you punch in Google or your browser of choice, I guess, in the news, they've had a lot of summer blooms the last few summers, and a lot of fishing communities have been really concerned. You're getting
Yeah.
fishing nets full of pyrosomes, just chock full,
Yeah,
and clogging equipment.
the pictures
the
are pretty
way.
wild.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, they're kind of, pyrosome means fire body, so they're have almost like a pickle is the right texture for what they feel like in the water. They're kind of rigid like that. But that's
And
body
when
tissue.
we see them in the lights, they look bright white, but what do you know the color and, things look a little different sometimes.
They're kind of the same color, I feel like, as the liquid that's on the push core. They're kind of like pinky white.
Okay. All right.
There was one still stuck on Hercules yesterday. We had it picked up and before we threw it back. I want to know how fast they grow for the fact that these like blooms pop up so quickly, to move from.
Well, they're like mostly water, I guess, so pretty quickly.
If I could jump in right here to the pilots, the order of the dive plan is switched a bit. The very last thing that we will do will be that large injector push core. That's very time sensitive, and I need to get it to the surface, and I need to process it very quickly. So that will be the last thing. So we will do the Niskins before that. The PAR sensing will happen. So PAR sensing is listed twice. So number 6 we're doing earlier.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Are we only doing one PAR, not a 5-minute and a 20-minute?
You're muted.
Yeah, and the length of the only PAR, I'm not sure how long that will be. It kind of depends on, how things go with respect to the available time.
Alrighty.
Did you catch all that? I just need to know what we're doing first. That's all. I'm busy up here. I got stuff. No.
The first thing we're going to do is find the abyss.
That's what I figured.
Exactly. And
you lost me everything after that.
Okay. well, that's just fine.
We'll take it as we go.
Sorry, it might look like I'm la-di-da up here, but
no, I understand completely. So as long as you don't go by the dive plan, then you're fine.
I never do. It's just a
Awesome.
You have a guarantee with Dan.
Yeah, right.
I'm just a bus driver. The dive plan is like over my pay grade.
Okay. So someone will
I do.
tell
we
you.
do need to know like what goes on the vehicle and stuff. That's pertinent.
Yes.
Well, good
Roger
thing we
that.
can't
That's
change
also
that now.
subject to change without notice in my experience.
Yes, this is true. Where are we? 2:35.
235.
Okay, maintaining descent speed.
I'm going to go
and
find
switching over to
Brooke
automatic mode.
because I think she
Roger.
should be up.
She's here in the studio.
Okay, good. So she'll be part of this. She'll be watching and part of it?
She
Or
can.
she-
I'll actually.
Oh,
we have a live
I
connection in a minute, so I will trade her
Oh.
out, and she can take this seat while I'm doing that show.
Okay. Brick, do you want to be out here when we see abyss? Okay, I think that would be wise.
Let me
Okay,
trade you in
very
now so
good.
you can get settled in.
We still have
we still
have quite a while
back
Okay.
towards the lander
to go.
a little bit.
So it's okay.
Okay.
Towards the theoretical lander? Yeah.
Yeah, the theoretical lander, that one.
Fill your boots, yeah.
How far off the deck do you want me? Or when do you want to stop?
Usually at about 25,
Copy.
30-ish you're slowing down and getting slack, and then I usually stop you around 25, and because I'm usually 5 meters off, so I don't slam in. We can, let's stop a little higher this time so we don't harpoon ourselves on a lander.
Bridge nav.
That's a good idea.
All right, then. Since we're
George,
deeper,
can you step
going
us back
faster,
about 40
adjusting
meters at
descent controls.
094?
What's that mean?
Nothing.
All right, if you're Anna, would like to know if anyone has a favorite crab fact.
Mm-hmm.
Leela, looking to you.
Oh my gosh, favorite crab fact.
Or just tell us something interesting about crabs.
Yeah, something interesting about crabs. Well, if you know how like the body is segmented in a lobster, crabs are kind of interesting in that it's as if that tail part that crabs
for
are
real?
missing, sort of like folded
Probably.
underneath them. So some of
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it seem off to you?
And so you can see that looking at that section on
it
their
is.
underside kind of helps also
But
determine.
But it's very tiny compared to the lobster that has a nice
Right,
big
yes.
tail.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does
what
seem
you're
a bit
saying
So
screwy,
there,
is
yeah.
a crab. If I were to roll up my lobster, it would
That's-
just
You'd get pretty
You'd
close to the body
You
plan.
get pretty close in some ways. And you can, that also sort of, the way that that underside looks helps differentiate between males and females. Yeah, that's
You think
my
your
crab.
heading's right there?
Yeah,
that's
it's a great
right.
crab fact.
Yeah, it's right. I forgot.
My favorite crab fact might be that they have a
I,
larval stage called a megalopoly.
Yeah.
And
one that was working really hard and one wasn't.
they're
so I
basically just spikes
thought
at
of-
that point. You know,
thought
there's a
about
lot more to it,
heading
but
without looking.
the body plan looks nothing like a crab
Tried to
body at
listen
that
to
point. And just a big defensive spikes to think
Yeah.
about how they are protecting themselves in the larva floating around, just drifting. And then through a stage of development, lots of, I would say most, maybe, ocean creatures have that larval stage, and how long they stay in the larva, in the plankton, drifting around varies a lot between animal to animal, but yeah, the
It's
Dungeness crabs, or near where I live, there's a lot of studies right now trying to pick those megalopolia out and then project based on how many of those are settling.
Oh yeah.
What, a fishery quota might look like
That's
years down the road.
I have a crab rumor or urban myth.
It was like a rumor.
It might be a fact. Yeah.
Okay.
And with the crabs
I think I've heard
from crabs.
that horseshoe crabs have blue blood.
That is a fact.
It's a fact. Ooh.
Yeah.
And we used it for something. Like some.
Did you cross the equator?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You mean
Ginny,
biomedical
you wanna
research,
talk about
right?
Yes,
They
that's
do
what I
use
meant.
it for that a
Okay,
lot.
thank you.
Yeah.
So
most hospitals use horseshoe crab blood or a derivative of it for detecting bacterial contamination on instruments and tissue transplants and the like. So it's really serves a useful purpose. And most of the migratory shorebirds that travel between South America and regions north of us really depend on horseshoe crab eggs for refueling the necessary energy to make it to their summer or winter grounds. So they're incredibly important in the ecology of migratory birds.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to make it to their southern grounds if it weren't for the horseshoe crab eggs that they feed heavily on.
That's cool.
So, it's another reason to protect horseshoe crabs, or if you find them washed up on the beach, and it's not just a molted shell, toss them back in.
And they've been around, horseshoe crabs, for a really, really, really long time, and there are only a couple species on the planet, which is so wild.
Right. They look very prehistoric.
Yeah.
That really is a living fossil, because they did evolve a long time ago in the Paleozoic. I think it was I don't remember exactly when.
Are they only on the east coast? Horseshoe crabs?
That's a good question. I've only ever seen them on the East Coast, but I'm not a West Coast girl, so
no idea. You're a parent on the East Coast and your kids have never seen one, here's a tip. Warn them long before they run into one, because that's a freaky thing to find under you.
Right. Brown things with a spiky tail.
Long spiky tail.
Fun to pick up.
Pretty cool.
The manipulator saw it, just so careful not to hit the bottom there.
100 feet, 3 meters to bottom.
Roger.
I have bottom on sonar.
On sub-bottom profiler. I don't have it on the sonar yet. And Leela, are you back there?
Yeah, what's up?
The OSU cam is hotted up if you want to play with it.